Bye. Shri Shriman, His Divine Grace, Lacy, bhakti-yoga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This kind of some stuff in Acharya, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gautam Vishnupad, Paramhams, Prabhupada Asatara Sadhu Shri Shriman, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anantya Koti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Namacharya Srila Hari Dasa Koti jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhadragnath, Shri Jidva Dasragnath, Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Premto Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktamani ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shamakan Radhakan Girigamadan ki jai. Matharadam ki jai, Vrindavadam ki jai, Mayapurdam ki jai, Sridham ki jai, Ranatpuridam ki jai, Ayodhadam ki jai, ISKCON Ljubljana ki jai, Gangamayi ki jai, Jamunwayi ki jai, Srimati Bhakti Devi ki jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Prataparanga ki jai, Hadayatra Mahotsava ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Love of the Brahmi Bhakti, Love of the Brahmi Bhakti, Love of the Brahmi Bhakti, Shri Guru, Shri Gurangi.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Bhava Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Gopi Jana Ballabha Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Yasoda Nandana Raja Ranjana Jaya Pradhana Ranjana Yasodanandana Radhana Ranjana Jaya Pradhana Ranjana Yasodanandana Pradhana Ranjana Jaya Pradhana Ranjana Yamunatiravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamunatiravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopidana Balava Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Gopidana Balava Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Sodanandana Pradhana Ranjana Jaya Pradhana Ranjana Yasodanandana Pradhana Ranjana Jaya Pradhana Ranjana Yamunatiravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Yamuna Tiravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Yamuna Tiravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jam Vishnupad Paramhansa Brahmadakacharya Asadhara Satushi Shiman His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribo Slava Zarani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Garangi Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Pute Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskyadyade Satarane Om Agyanativanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksura Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vasakans Vitam Scha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandho Dagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchena Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishubhanu Sudhadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapa Dhruvyastra Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patiranam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranitananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna. We're beginning with text 50, and there's no purport, so I'll just read the translation. Because of constant rain sent by the demigod Indra, the river Jamuna was filled with deep water, foaming about with fiercely whirling waves. But as the great Indian Ocean had formerly given way to Lord Ramachandra by allowing him to construct a bridge, the river Jamuna gave way to Vasudeva and allowed him to cross. Anyone know any biblical story similar to this? Any biblical scholars here? Moses, yes, the Red Sea. What happened with Moses? The sea split. And then why did it split?
They were running away from the Egyptians.
The Pharaoh's army was chasing them. And what happened when they got to the other side of the Nile? What happened before that? The Pharaoh's army was right behind them. So when they got, and then the river came and drowned them all. Where did they get this from? Comes from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 51. Nanda Vrajam Sarira Nanda Vrajam Sharira Upetya Tatratan Kopan Prasuptan Upalabdya Nidraya Sutam Jasoda Sharane Nidayatat Sutam Upadaya Punargrihan Agat Nanda Vrajam Sharira Upetya Tantratan Gopan Prasuptan Upalabdya Nidraya Sutam Jasoda Sharne Ninayatat Sutam Upadaya Punargrihan Agat One. Nanda Vrajam Sharira Upetya Tatratan Kopan Prasuptan Upalabdya Nidraya Sutam Jasoda Sharne Nidayatat Sutam Vadadaya Panaragrihan Agat. Ladies. Nanda Vraja Shaurya Upetya Tatratan Kupan Prasuptan Upalabdya Nidraya Sutam Yasoda Sharne Nidayatat Sutam Upadaya Punaragrihan Gagat. Any other lady? Nandavrajam Sharira Upetya Tatratan Kopan Prasuptan Apulabdya Nidraya Sutam Jasoda Sharne Nidayatat Sutam Upadaya Panargrihanagat Nanda Vrajam. The village of the house of Nanda Maharaj. Shri Shari Vasudev. 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 There's Vasudev and there's Vasudev. This is Vasudev. Vasudev was Krishna's father, and Vasudev is Krishna. Upetya, reaching. Tatra, there. Tan, all the members. Gopan, the cowherd men. Prasuptan, were fast asleep. upalabhya, understanding that, nidraya, in deep sleep, sutam, the son, Vasudev's son, Jasoda Sharyane, on the bed where Mother Jashoda was sleeping. Nidaya, placing. Tatsutam, her daughter. Upadaya, picking up. Punaha, again. Grihan, to his own house. Agat, returned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When Vasudeva reached the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. Thus he placed his own son on the bed of Jashoda, picking up her daughter, expansion of Yogamaya, and then returned to his residence, the prison house of Kamsa. Interesting, his residence is a prison. Purport. Vasudeva knew very well that as soon as the daughter was in the prison house of Kamsa, Kamsa would immediately kill her. But to protect his own child, he had to kill the child of his friend. Nanda Maharaj was his friend, but out of deep affection and attachment for his own son, he knowingly did this. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one cannot be blamed for protecting one's own child at the sacrifice of another's. Furthermore, Vasudeva cannot be accused of callousness, since his actions were impelled by the force of Yoga Maya. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Vacharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskyadyade Satarne. So what other stories are in the Bible that are actually coming from Krishna's, from Srimad Bhagavatam? Anyone give some other examples? Anyone here ever read the Bible? That's probably where your Hare Krishna is now. The flood, yes. Whose flood was? Who was on the boat? Noah. At least we know some of the stories. And what's the corresponding story in the Vedic literature? Who is on the boat? Begins with an S. Satyavrata. I knew it. What's another story that's in this Krishna pastime? What happened with the Pharaoh? What did the Pharaoh do to the children who were just born within 3 days? Well, we really don't have any biblical scholars here. What did the Pharaoh do? What was the Pharaoh afraid of? Yeah, he killed all the children of the which were born within 3 days. So, Kamsa also ordered all the children in Vrindavan to be killed within 3 days. So, we can understand the original pastimes are all coming from Krishna and from his pastimes. Nitya Lila. Now here it mentions about Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's explaining how we should not condemn Vasudeva because he took the child of Jasoda, a little baby girl, and brought her to the palace in exchange for Krishna, or for Vasudeva. And then he was expecting that Kamsa would come and kill her. So this doesn't sound like a very compassionate person. Now, of course, we have to remember that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also speaking to an audience who will read this pastime and think ill of Krishna, or think ill of Krishna's devotees, Vasudeva. That doesn't mean that Vasudeva will say, oh, he's a little girl, who cares about kids, little girls especially, let me exchange her. After all, the girl is only half, and the boy was a whole, so. No, he wasn't thinking like that at all. Because he was under the spell of Yoga Maya. And and also, Krishna appeared in 4 arms as Vasudeva. He knew that Krishna was God. After all, how many little children are born with 4 arms? Not only 4 arms, but holding in each one of them a conch, a wheel, a club, and a lotus flower. That's even rarer. Not only that, but he had a helmet on his head. And how many born with a garland around their neck? And a jewel around their neck. With bangles, golden bangles. Very rare. There's only one within the history of the universe, Krishna. So Vasudeva had a good idea that Krishna is actually God. And therefore, yata taramula nishechanena trivyanti tatskanda bujo prashaka pranaharacha detendriyanam tataiva sarvahanam atuteja. If we water the root of the tree, then naturally the water will go to the leaves and branches. Or by providing food to the stomach, naturally all the different parts of the body will be served. So still, if one serves Krishna, then automatically the demigods and everyone else is served. So Vasudeva knew that if he served Krishna's order, everything else will be taken care of. In other words, Krishna told him, in the form of Krishna, when he turned into a little baby, to take him to Vrindavan. And Vasudeva didn't hesitate, thinking that it's cold outside and whatever. No, he immediately took him to Vrindavan, because we know from the history that Mother Devaki breastfed him first. So they're obviously under a different potency. I mean, if your child has 4 arms with a helmet and club and wheel and lotus flower and a conch shell in their hands, you probably would be wondering whether he really needs any milk or not. But this is the power of Yoga Maya. Even he appears in 4 arms, and even he transforms himself into a little child. Still, the affection is so great that the one who's in Vatsalya Rasa can't think of Krishna as God, even if he looks like God. Even in the spiritual world, Krishna is always 16 years old, but Mother Jasoda sees him as a little child. Eternally. He never grows up. It's like this little child here. He never seems to grow up either. Perpetual youth. So Vasudeva knew if he followed Krishna's order, everything else would be taken care of. Everything would be perfect. There would be no problem. Now, who else had a problem that we know of at first, wondering whether he should follow Krishna's order or not? Arjuna was wondering, what will happen to my kinsmen? And Krishna says, don't worry about your kinsmen because they're already dead. And not only that, but even if they're dead, but they'll get a more auspicious birth. It's not going to be bad for them. People think if you die, then it's bad. But if you go to the heavenly planets or go back to the spiritual world, then what's wrong with leaving this body to get a much better body? If you're riding around in a 1952 Polski Fiat and sun rise up with a 2003 Rolls Royce, and you say, would you like to get this Rolls Royce? No, I really like my Polski Fiat. I wouldn't give it up for anything. So you have to get out of the Polski Fiat in order to get into the Rolls Royce, and it's not bad because it's a much better car from the material point of view. Similarly, Krishna told Arjuna, even if you have to kill your relatives, but they'll actually get a better position. You're actually doing them a favor. So why should you hesitate? That everything will turn out all right. With that faith, Vasudeva picked up Yogamaya. He didn't know, I don't know if he knew it was Yogamaya. Obviously, he's fully Krishna conscious. He knew that this was a very special girl. And he brought her back to his residence, to the jail cell. And, of course, Kamsa came, and he said immediately, my death has been born. Poetic. And, of course, when he saw the little girl, he didn't hesitate to try to smash her on the ground, but she flew into the air. And the result is that Durga is his worshipable deity. Often the demons, their worshipable deities, are the Durga or Lord Shiva or Kali. So his worshipable deity appeared before him, and he thought, my sister and my brother-in-law couldn't be ordinary persons. For Devaki to give birth to Durga, she must be someone's very special. I didn't realize how special my sister was. She gave birth to the whole material energy, the personification, the controller of the material energy, who creates, maintains, and destroys the whole cosmic creation. So therefore he offered some respects to his brother-in-law and sister, which was for his benefit. He tried to kill this little girl, Yogamaya, and he winds up respecting his brother and sister. So this is for his benefit. Even Kamsa gets an opportunity to do a little pious credit sometimes, even if he's trying to kill someone. So one point here is that Krishna's pastimes, Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shuyate Swabhaviti Bala Kriya Cha. Yana Bala Kriya Cha. They all act as a natural sequence, and they're all perfect. Everyone is benefited. Everyone has their part to play. And it makes for exciting pastime. It makes for a pastime that people can hear about and on different levels take interest. And for those who don't like Krishna, he gives them something to complain about, to criticize Krishna for. Although Krishna is beyond all criticism, and Krishna's devotees are beyond criticism, but Krishna has to allow the demons some opportunity to criticize him. Otherwise it would be unfair. Therefore, when Krishna disappears, he has a hunter shoot an arrow supposedly into his foot. Not really. Do you know who that hunter was? Jara in his previous lifetime. Well, at least you'll learn something new today. We learned new things about the Bible, and now we're getting into Krishna's pastimes again. Who is the hunter who shot the arrow into Krishna's foot? Who tried, at least, apparently. His name begins with a B. Brigupati. What did Brigupati do in his previous life? You know who Brigupati is? Brigupati was the one who was assigned by the sages to go and try to discover who's the supreme in the universe. So first he went to Brahma and Brahma his father. But he didn't offer any respects to his father. Instead, he stood there, and his father became angry because his son didn't offer any respect, and therefore he left before getting cursed by Brahma to the Mount Kailas. And there his brother came to greet him, trying to embrace him. And what did he tell his brother, Bhrigu Muni? What's that?
Get away.
Get away, you dirty so-and-so. You're covered with dust, with ashes from the crematorium. You're ghostly haunted. Don't touch me. So how did Lord Shiva feel about that? He was going to kill him. Yeah, he picked up his trident and he was going to barbecue him. And Parvati came and saved him by falling down at Lord Shiva's lotus feet and begged him to forgive his brother. So Bhrigu Muni then went to Svetadweep, to the milk ocean where Lord Vishnu is lying on the lap, or being massaged by Lakshmi Devi. He broke into the room and he kicked Vishnu in the foot. And Lord Vishnu came off the bed and massaged Bhrigu Muni's lotus feet and asked for forgiveness that somehow or another Bhrigu Muni, with his soft foot, had kicked the hard chest of Vishnu, and Vishnu was afraid that maybe he hurt his foot and wanted to massage it. And asked Bhrigu Muni to stay in his Vaikuntha planet and purify it, because he's a great Brahmin. So Bhrigu Muni didn't know who God was, and he went to discover who the Supreme Personality of Godhead was. So, in the pastime of Krishna, Bhrigu Muni appeared, and he apparently shot an arrow, but not really. It didn't really pierce Lord Krishna's foot. And then he took it as an opportunity to go back to the spiritual world. So Krishna has this, he acts like an ordinary person, and he arranges things in a seemingly ordinary way to do extraordinary things. How did Lord Balaram go back to the spiritual world? Does anyone know? From his mouth appeared Ananta. Ananta took him back to the spiritual world. Always nice to have a friend who can take you back to the spiritual world. So these are, for the materialist who wants to criticize Krishna, they see, they keep on claiming that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but some ordinary hunter came along, shot him on the foot and killed him. So just to satisfy the whims of the atheists, Krishna enacts a pastime where he apparently gets killed by an ordinary hunter. At the same time, he liberates Bhrigu Muni from his previous reaction of kicking him in the chest. And at the same time, he has a way of exiting from the material world back to the spiritual world to his next pastimes. So Krishna is Daksha, he's able to do so many things simultaneously and satisfy so many different people. The atheist can think he's an ordinary person. He was born in a prison. His parents were criminals. He escaped from prison, grew up as a thief, headed up the mafia in Vrindavan, stealing things from people, killed his nurse, killed the animals in the forest. What a rascal this Krishna was. Finally escaped to Mathura and killed his relatives, his uncle there. Then he furthered his life of crime in Dwarka. Kings came to visit him, and he killed them too. this criminal, they worship him as the supreme. What kind of people are these who worship? A cowherd boy who killed his uncle to become a king, and then went on to further crime. These are the people who worship. Every day they're followers of him. Watch out for them. Dangerous cult. So for the ordinary people, Krishna gives them an opportunity to think like that. And for the devotees, they can appreciate how nice Krishna is. He sent Putana back to the spiritual world. He didn't exactly kill her. He sucked out her poison, and he awakened her natural love for him in a maternal relationship and sent her to the spiritual world. What could be kinder? Krishna actually doesn't kill anyone. It's his expansions that killed the demons. Therefore, Krishna is all good, and even his expansions are all good, because although they're seemingly killing people, it's for their benefit. So similarly, Krishna being exchanged for Yogamaya was actually quite auspicious. I mean, if we knew that Yogamaya was in a prison house, I think we'd still go and visit her. In fact, we wouldn't mind being in the prison cell with Yogamaya. So wherever Yogamaya goes, it's all auspicious, and she's arranging all the pastimes anyhow. It's not that she didn't know what was going on and she was innocently taken to her death in a prison house at Kangsa. No, she arranged it all, because she's Krishna's pastime potency. So everything is all right. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Yes. And here it's over here.
Hare Krishna. I would just like to ask, you mentioned that Krishna's expansion kills the demons.
Yes.
And I'm interested in how he performed that. He do it in secret to expand himself, or he was prior the fight, he was already expansion, or?
Well, all his expansions are Krishna. They have a different mood. In other words, Krishna in the original form is Krishna. His mood is simply the cowherd boy in Vrindavan. But he expands in order to fulfill the desires of his devotees and different circumstances. His mood expands. His form expands, but it's the same Krishna, it's simply in a different mood, manifesting a different form. So Krishna, within Krishna was all his expansions, and that mood of killing Putana was there. So Krishna, he sucked the breast of Putana, her milk, as a child, and Vasudeva, in the form of who is within Krishna, killed her by sucking out her life air also. So how it does, you have to be God to know it, to figure out how to do it. Or you have to be on the spiritual platform to figure it out, to know, understand. Anyhow, we hear about it, we can't imitate it, but we can accept it that Krishna can do so many things simultaneously. He's in everyone's heart, for instance. The same Krishna who's in Goloka Vrindavan is in everyone's heart, but he's not playing a flute usually in our heart, for most people's hearts. But he's still there.
From my perspective, it was like when the gate opened for Vasudeva bring Krishna to Vrindavan.
Yeah.
And it's strange that they
Well, Krishna didn't tell them to. It was all because if they did, the pastime wouldn't be very good. Kangsa was, what happened, That's all pastimes. Then he would have known that, it would have discouraged Kangsa. All my gatekeepers, they fell asleep, the prison gates which were locked open, something's up, and it's not very good for me. It's his pastime. It's Yogamaya who opened the gates. It's Yogamaya who kept Devaki in the cell. It's Yogamaya who had him exchanged for the girl. It's all under Yogamaya.
You mentioned also these biblical similarities with Krishna's stories. Were they just copy or was also displayed in different forms?
Well, I didn't write the Bible, so I don't know, but it seems that there's motifs throughout, since Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago. I mean, since Krishna's pastimes are current, there's similar things that happen that model after Krishna's pastimes. There's so many different appearances of great personalities who model Krishna's pastimes too. Dionysus and others in different. Just like all the Greeks, they had gods. Well, where did the gods come from? The Romans had gods. They're all the demigods. Zeus is Indra. Who's the one for the? Zeus is Roman or is it Greek?
Greek.
And who's the Roman god? Jupiter. It's not Jupiter. Anyhow, they're all the demigods and different names, that's all. Nicknames for the demigods. Thank you, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
auta, ne, tudi da vam prevodava, pa sam